Hello anybody, I'm Don Polec, and welcome to another edition of the History of My World, where we look back on some of the fun stories and memorable moments I've shared with you on the evening news. And most of the time, these were stories about, interesting people or fascinating events taking place in the Delaware Valley, but occasionally, I couldn't resist getting up on my very public soapbox and going on a rant about something that was I found really annoying. I mean, a particular pet peeve that seemed to call for a 2-minute, completely opinionated tirade. Very much like the news shows that are on today, But anyway, this was one of those stories. It occurred to me that here in the USA, where anybody from a CPA to the CEO of IBM can roll up to an ATM in their SUV and check on their IRA while listening to REM on their CD, the question becomes, whatever happened to words? Remember them? Those combinations of letters that we used to speak with before we started ODing on acronyms.
Abbreviations. GUR, DAV.
It's quicker and it's easier.
It comes in handy to get the conversation faster.
At the cost of all of our conversations sounding like the personal ads in the city paper.
PAS, INV.
Oh, it is insane. And I'm sure most people don't know what they mean.
This calls for some Q&A. So what does DVD stand for?
Digital video. You got me on the spot. I know what it is, but I don't know what it stands for.
Digital video disc.
ATM, automatic teller machine.
GOP.
Government, wait.
Get out and push.
Grand old party.
They're just trying to save time, like everything is shortened.
There are even businesses that don't bother to think of a real name for themselves.
What does CVS stand for? That's a good question. CVS? Something, I don't know.
What'd you get in there?
M&M's?
Well, the alphabet's only 26 letters long, so it's got to stop somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we're getting a little thin on letter combinations, if you know what I mean. What does PC mean?
Personal computer.
Yeah, sure.
Politically correct. Let's see. Sounds the same, but has a different meaning. I guess that's a homonym acronym.
Depends upon what you want it to stand for.
Compact disc.
Certificate of deposit.
Beats the heck out of me.
With these acronyms that nobody understands.
What does NASDAQ stand for?
I don't know how I gotta go. I should know what NASDAQ stands for.
It's too many letters to stand for anything.
National Association of Security Dealers Automated Quotations.
Now, if you want to refer to that as the NASDAQ, that's okay, because you can pronounce it. It's got vowels. It sounds like a real word.
And then they're calling out with the DVDs and all different types of things.
To go along with our VCRs and MP3s. Listen, if you're an inventor, do me a favor. When you come out with your invention, take 10 extra seconds and think of an actual name for the thing.
They want my money? Tell us that's what it is.
We've got so much stuff that people are trying to sell that you just ran out of words to try and sell it.
I mean, let's face it, in a world where some guy from Generation X can listen to ODB on his MP3, while some VIP can track the S&P from his BMW on his wireless PC, it doesn't take a PhD from MIT to see why the King's English is going to be DOA without some linguistic CPR. ASAP. For ABC.
AP, how you doing?
Right.
Good to see you.
I'm Don Polec, Channel 6 Action News. Anyway, I'm glad I got a chance to get that off my chest. And I don't know if Steve Jobs somehow saw that story. All I know is that a couple of months later, Apple came out with their MP3 player. Now, MP3 players had been around for a while, but they didn't make much of a splash. And I think part of it is because people didn't understand them. I mean, what's an MP3? Well, you play music through. Where do you put the disc? People just didn't relate to it. Well, Apple comes out with their MP3 player, and what does Steve Jobs do? He gives it a name. He calls it an iPod. And suddenly, people embraced it. It changed the face of how music was enjoyed. The whole digital music revolution happened because people understood that this item, this cute little item with a name, they understood what it did and how it worked, and well, it was off to the races from there. And that format of using a small I with a capital P led to the iPhone, the iPad, the I everything. So like I said, I don't know if he saw my report, but I can take credit for it, you know what I mean? Anyway, if you enjoyed this story and you'd like to see more, why don't you check out my YouTube channel, Don Polec's World TV, and hit subscribe. You'll have a lot of fun. In the meantime, I'll keep looking back into the archives to bring you more stories from the history of my world. Until then, I'm Don Polec. I'll see you next time.